Welcome to this London Build webinar sponsored by Johnson Matthey. Johnson Matthey is over 200 years old, and for all of that time, we've had a strong association with London. So we're very happy to be engaged with this webinar today with London Build. Johnson Matthey is a FTSE 100 company and is a recognized leader in the science of making the world a cleaner and better place. Science is at the core of what we do, creating solutions to meet customer needs and tackling some of the world's greatest problems. Today, there is much discussion about the need to build back better, and we have a great opportunity to deploy technology that enables cleaner and greener construction in London and in cities around the world. In the next 90 minutes, we have a great lineup of experts who will share their experience with you. And it is an indication of what Johnson Matthey has achieved that in the time of this webinar, Johnson Matthey products will have removed 4,000 tons of pollution from combustion processes before they enter the atmosphere. We will share with you why we do this and how we achieve this. It is an interactive process, and we want to engage with you and work with you so that we can make cities cleaner and greener and better places to live and work. I hope you enjoy this webinar and find it useful.
Good morning. My name is Richard O'Sullivan. I'm the Technical Director of BISAF. I'm going to be talking about the dangers of diesel particulate and the role of the low emission zone, London low emission zone, in controlling that, and where diesel particulate filters come in. So first of all, what is diesel particulate matter? You can see on the schematic here, a single human hair and some fine grains of beach sand. And then the blue spheres going across the width of the human hair are the coarse end of diesel particulate. And superimposed onto one of those spheres, there are some red spheres, and a number of those fit across the width of each coarse particulate. And that's the fine end, the PM2.5. Of diesel particulate. And the reason that this is important is that the body, the human body, hasn't developed the protection, the defense mechanisms against these very fine particles. And so they can be breathed deep into our lungs, and there they go into the bloodstream and all around the body. Now, these diesel particles are composed mostly of carbon, but coated onto them, there are some carcinogenic hydrocarbons. And a few years ago, the World Health Organization designated diesel particulate as carcinogenic to humans and increasing the risk of lung cancer. It's also responsible or linked with various other serious health conditions, various heart and lung conditions, bladder cancer, and even dementia. So it's a very bad thing for human health. In the short term, if you're exposed to higher levels of diesel particulate, it can make you feel sick, it can irritate your airways and cause coughing, and also dizziness. So definitely not a good thing. Now, looking at the impact that this has on health, in London alone, thousands of people die prematurely each year due to the effects of diesel particulate. In the UK as a whole, this comes up to tens of thousands. And just to put it into context, we're talking about similar sorts of numbers to those that have died prematurely through the effects of coronavirus this year. And the deaths due to diesel particulate have been going on for decades. It's also more likely to affect vulnerable groups such as the young and the old, and also the sick. And it's been shown that you're more likely to die of coronavirus or COVID-19 if you live in a highly polluted area than if you have the benefit of clean air. Focusing down now at construction in particular, it's estimated that hundreds of ex-construction workers die each year due to lung cancer caused by their exposure to diesel particulate through their jobs. And in the UK, diesel exhaust is covered by the COSH regulations and health and safety guidance, executive guidance, and employers, of course, have a legal duty to protect their workers from harm, and this includes the effects of diesel particulate. And although we'll discuss and we'll talk about the Johnson-Matthey diesel particulate filters, just a quick mention for the BISAF particulator, which was developed, a diesel particulate filter that was convenient and easy to use for smaller machines that tend to be dirtier in their exhausts, and also more likely to be used in confined spaces that represent an occupational health issue. So now looking at the technology of the diesel particulate filter. The diesel particulate filter is the technological solution for controlling diesel particulate in exhaust. And you can see in the schematic that you have a structure that's composed of tiny squared off tubes that run the length of the filter. And at the inlet end, alternate cells are blocked off. And at the outlet end, the opposite cells are blocked off. And so the exhaust, shown here with the purple and the blue arrows, has to flow through the wall of the filter. And this is a porous ceramic structure, and it very effectively removes the particulate from exhaust. And on the right, there are a couple of filters shown in a photograph to give you some idea of what they actually look like. Then, how effective actually are these filters? Well, we carried out some work at an independent automotive emissions research facility called Combustion, and we measured the level of diesel particulate in an exhaust from a small excavator, and we ran the machine over a cycle, and the graph on the right, the black line, shows how that particulate builds up over time. Then we fitted the filter and measured the concentration of particulate in the exhaust after the filter, and that's shown in the green line, which hugs the baseline. So there's almost no particulate being emitted from the filter. And actually the difference between the black line and the green line is shows a 99.98% reduction in particulate over the filter. So these things are highly effective. Now to look at the London low emission zone for non-road machines, and particularly construction machines. So London has a continuing problem with air quality. It doesn't meet its targets. The air is still too dirty in London. And as the emissions from other sources, so other vehicles such as trucks and cars, has come down due to improving technology and low emission zones for those vehicles, the amount of pollution from construction has gone up in proportion. And so construction machinery now accounts for 15% of fine particulate emissions in London. So that's led to the mayor imposing restrictions on construction machines in a similar way to those that have been applied for trucks and cars. And I'll read you one sentence from the regulations that sums up the restrictions. So the current standards are stage 4 for construction machinery operating in the central activity zone and opportunity areas, including Canary Wharf, and stage 3B in the rest of London. Now, one of the ways of meeting these regulations is to retrofit a filter to a stage 3A machine, for example, to bring it up to stage 3B. And my colleague, Peter Wert from Johnson Matthey, who's the manager of the retrofit emissions business for construction machinery, will talk more about those systems. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Richard. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Wert. I'm the product manager for diesel particulate filter at Johnson Matthey. On the following slides, I will show you our DPF technology we are offering. Johnson Matthey offers a large range of diesel particulate filters built in stainless steel housing, and these filters have a particle reduction up to 99% measured by particle count. A critical aspect of this filter performance is its regeneration. Johnson Matthey offers two types of regeneration strategies. The passive regeneration, which doesn't need any external assistance or energy, is suitable for engines which have temperature above 220 degrees C, such as excavators, wheel loaders, compressors, and generators. Secondly, we offer active regeneration, which does need external fuel or electrical energy for regeneration. This is suitable for applications which have lower exhaust gas temperature below 220 degrees C, such as cranes, forklift trucks, and machines with low operating hours. For the passive DPF systems, Johnson Matthey offers three types of particulate filters, which are the DPF CSF, a coated soot filter, the DPF CRT, the continuously regeneration trap, and the combination out of both, the DPF CCRT system, which regenerates from very low 220 degrees C and above. The DPF CCRT is the most reliable passive DPF system on the market. Here you can see a case study with a passive system installed on a Hitachi excavator with 310 kilowatts. DPF system is a DPF CCRT 2012 in parallel, operates for over 1,200 hours. This slide shows some examples about other passive DPF solutions. You see locomotives, generators, excavators, concrete pumps, quarry excavators, and dumpers, tractors, and mini excavators, and so on. For the active regeneration, Johnson Matthey offers two types of particulate filter systems. The DPFI, with electrical heating. This needs external power, external electrical power. The DPF-BU system is a burner system who uses diesel fuel from the machine. The DPF-BU is the most convenient and reliable active DPF system. In this slide, you can see a case study for active regeneration. It is a Cobelco crawler crane with 247 kilowatts. The system installed is a DPF-BU 2013, and it runs or operates for over 1,700 hours. Other applications, active applications are crawler cranes, forklift trucks, mobile cranes, and so on. All systems are equipped with a diagnostic system, a POCAN system, which has a data logger in and a protocol file for service, and a graphic display, which shows the status messages for operator and service personnel. All systems, including the filter monitor, are certified by EST, the Energy Serving Trust for London, and also by WORD for other countries. In summary, the technology we are offering, we are market leader in supply of retrofit DPF systems for non-road mobile machinery in Europe. We have a commercial operation for over 28 years with thousands of DPFs in field. We offer a wide range of passive and active systems for engine power from above 1 kilowatt up to over 1000 kilowatt. A diagnostic system is supplied with each of these systems, and they are all certified by EST and WORD. Generally, they can be easily adapted to any application. Thank you for your attention. Next, you will see a short video with a case study.
Today we are in Bamnathol's Albrook depot in Eastleigh, and I want to give you an introduction and an overview of how we retrofit one of their crawler cranes with a Johnson Matthey DPF BU system.
Because the crane is an age where the tier rating is not suited for working in London now because of the emissions. So we approached you to make our crane available to work in London.
Fitting a DPF system begins with a site survey, where we visit the machine and inspect the engine room, the driver's cab and everything in between. Johnson Matthey then specify the DPF system that best suits the equipment. BISAF always follow a clearly defined process. Our first step is to remove the original exhaust system, which we then take back to our workshop. Johnson Matthey's retrofit kits have a myriad of components. We clone a lot of the original components so that the DPF system slots into the place of the original exhaust. Back on site, the team begins to rebuild the exhaust system. The corduroy wall flow filter, with more than 99.8% reduction rate, is at the heart of the installation. Whilst the filter is the heart, Johnson Matthey's PO CAN electronic control unit is the brain of the installation. It coordinates the regeneration process, warns the operator when regeneration becomes necessary, and flags up potential faults. Fault analysis and system intervention can be done from anywhere with BISAF's telematic control system. Cranes need active regeneration systems with burner units. The team thoroughly checks every step of the process, and there is quality control at every stage. Once installation is complete, and after a test run, a comprehensive handover takes place. Handing over the Energy Savings Trust Certificate marks the start of our after-sales service.
People like the older machines, you know, that's what gets me, is they like the older machines. It's just making them, bring them up to a better, cleaner standards. But to me, I think it's good, you know, anything to make the world a better, cleaner place.
Yeah, as BAMNAT was one of the leading civil engineers in the UK, it's important that we look at emissions from our machines, and one of the machines was the crawler crane, which we had a job with Thames Tideway, which would come under the emissions of London. So the exhaust system we wanted to fit would reduce our diesel particulate that we're emitted to the air, and this system helps us achieve that. I spoke to a couple of my colleagues that run cranes, and BISAF was mentioned to me as a good option. Conversations we had were good and positive, good dialogue and quality of product, so we decided to go with BISAF that have delivered in a quality profession.
Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you found it interesting and informative. Please get in touch with us if we can be of any further help if you need any information.